Hey, this is our midsummer look at the garden. Had some successes and some failures this year. Just going to take a peek. Got the squash over here. Planted like 4 different curcubits here. Got some cucumbers. Put some yellow squash here. Got plenty of both. Actually, kind of tired of eating them. Gave away some to the neighbors. Mother-in-law talking about freezing them. Anyway, I put 2 kinds of squash here, a spaghetti squash and a zucchini, and it cross-pollinated, and what I got was yellow squash and a big old Frankensteinian gourd of some kind. I don't know, it wasn't spaghetti squash. So what I ended up with is I got more yellow squash, which man, we are freezing that stuff. We got enough of it. Anyway, got the rain garden over here. As I might have pointed out in a previous video, this yard slopes down in this direction, so we get a bunch of the rainfall coming downhill comes to here, and I use this to catch this so that the garden doesn't get too soaked. Got over here bitter melon. It's very a very herbal scented kind of plant. It's pretty cool. That's what it looks like. This is supposed to be good at treating diabetics if you can stand the way of cooking it. You know, you have to cook it a little bit special. But anyway, I planted that for fun. I wanted to see how it tasted and see if it did anything good for our health. I've got some gourds over here. I put sweet potatoes in this bed, and the rabbits got in here, and the dog wasn't doing her job, and the rabbits ate this down to the ground several times, and I just gave up on it. So I got gourds there. The rabbits don't like the gourds. We're going to build some kind of trellis for them. A rhubarb over here. This thing I thought was dead. I thought it was dead for about 3 months, and all of a sudden about a month ago it just started sprouting up. So yeah, I don't know, one of them zombie things. Gonna hopefully that spreads next year. I had bok choy in here, and again I got tired of eating it. Tons of it. Got okra. Got the Japanese beetles into the okra. But this is very prolific. I've got maybe a dozen plants here, and about every other day you can harvest enough okra off these plants for you to do some roasted okra, which everybody seems to like, which is quite good. I had some on these poles. I had some yard-long asparagus beans. They did okay. Again, the rabbit came in here and ate about half of them, so I didn't get the harvest I wanted. And while all that was going on, I did not cage my tomatoes this year. So I got tomatoes growing all over the place, and I'm harvesting handfuls of them every day. About to go give away more of those too. Got more tomatoes back over here. So I don't know, maybe next year, mental note, not as many tomatoes. I put some of the corn in the ground because I had some seeds left over from last year, about 20 seeds, and something ate, I think it was a cutworm, ate a couple of them, or cut worms, and then the rest of them aren't really doing a whole lot. So this didn't do me any good, but it may be a good pH indicator for the soil in this bed. And I planted some potatoes in here, and the freeze in January killed everything off. I actually put them in here in the fall, and they all like died, and then a couple of them came back. I put a couple more potatoes out here, and then the original ones, like this one had died down to nothing. I thought it was gone, and then all of a sudden it decided just to come up again. So I look like I'm going to get some potatoes later. More tomatoes here. I did have a bunch of I had some carrots and some radishes in there, and I ate radishes until they came out of my ears earlier. The onions, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go look at that guy's video again. All my onions came out as dwarfs. So what we might need to do is fertilize or move them to a little bit more sunny location. So we're gonna work on that. We've got some exotic berries. This is aronia. Stuck a couple of these in the ground. They do seem to be growing. They were just little twigs when I put them there, so they're growing. Hopefully in a year or two we'll have some of this berry. It's supposed to be good. It doesn't ship well, and it's another exotic superfood. Got my blackberries, or blackberry. The other one died of the frost. I ended up with a blackberry bush and a stick. So I'm going to try and replant some of this stuff, try and graft that in, and put this bush out here somewhere. Hopefully next year we'll have a harvest. Got all my strawberries. They have taken off. Again, next year, I just put these in the ground. They're just a couple of twigs, a couple of roots, and they have taken off. So next year we should get some. This is a ground cherry, which these are actually quite good. I don't know, how do you describe the taste, but they're just a little strange little fruit. It's like a half tomato, half cherry kind of thing. And they're good. They're different. If you want to try something exotic, this stupid thing, I just threw a couple seeds in the ground, and they're doing okay, I think. We'll see. They're supposed to sell seed. There's my moringa tree, the drumstick tree. This is supposed to be super healthy food kind of thing. Not doing real well here. We'll see. I don't know. I might. You're not supposed to mess with their roots, but I think I might try planting some next year outside of a pot. The greenhouse is done for this year. Got some eggplant, more tomatoes. This is hot as heck in here. It's like 100 degrees. My daughter's got some lemon trees, her bonsai tree over there, and I definitely need to fix this. The ventilation, and this material is like a polycarbonate fabric, and it has some stretch to it. So what happens is the rain catches in pockets here. So I'm going to take this down and put up a solid plastic roof on this. It is quite warm, and it keeps the air temperature about 10 to 15 degrees warmer in here than outside, which means that you can grow things in here that you didn't think you'd be able to grow, and they'll survive. Over here, got our gooseberries. Again, you get them from the nursery. They're just really a stick. You put a stick in the ground and look at it in October, November, and then a few months later, these things sprout up and become trees. So hopefully these will be 4 or 5 feet tall. Another exotic berry that you don't ever see. Got a dwarf fig over here. Dwarf fig. The dwarf fig is new because the original fig was over there, and that gets shade in the afternoon. That thing up and died. So the freeze killed it, and it's too shady of a place to survive. So another lesson learned. Got my muscadines grown over here, and they are producing a little bit. I built this thing. It's a kind of ugly looking little construction, but hopefully I'm trying to train them to grow up onto that, so that when I come out here, I'll be able to just walk right under this and pick grapes. This thing it's like the dog. It doesn't want to be trained, but we're gonna have a contest of wills next year. Hopefully it'll be growing a little bit better. I've established some roots, and we'll have a prettier grapevines. And here's another one of the victims of the cold. I put 3 kiwis in the ground here. One of them was over there, and well, there it is. This frozen stick. This kind of killed itself off, didn't come back, but then these kind of died off, and then it looks like they're going to survive. I got 2 of them. You have to have, this one's a male. You have to have 1 male for every 5 females, and that's a female. So I was really optimistic about this. This is a cold-hardy kiwi from Auburn. And I was going to build a trellis like that over here to block the sun from getting to the house and lower our electric bill and get some kiwis, but the frost killed these things. I mean, it was brutal, and I didn't think they were going to survive, but they did come back. So yeah, Who knows? Anyway, that's about the roundup for this year. Some successes. I mean, I'm about eating enough squash and tomatoes and things like that. I've bok choy. I had a few things I don't think I can eat any more of it this year. And another thing, a couple things I really thought would do better, did not. Oh, that's my Malabar spinach over here. If anybody knows a good recipe for this stuff, I just put a couple of seeds like this in the ground like 5 weeks ago, and I've never grown this before. But this is spinach, and it's like a Asian spinach, and it's growing like crazy. And I've seen at the botanical garden, they grow it up a trellis like 6 feet tall. So I need to find a good recipe for that and put it so that it can climb, so we can put something else in this bed with it. So y'all have a good day now. Take it easy.